good right now, right?
I may need you to go get some needle nose pliers.
Why?
This stuff. What's happening, guys? We are here once again with Fish Talk live pregame show. I'm here with Captain Miranda Creel.
Hey guys!
Just here to introduce ourselves, get you all prepared, make sure everybody gets logged in and say hi and see how life has been.
That's right, don't be shy.
Anybody doing any fishing this week? Anything good? I'm really excited to see some of y'all's catch of the week this week.
Oh yeah, I heard there was some pretty good pictures in there.
Yeah, I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
Once again, this is the pregame show.
Yep.
So we're just here kind of, making sure everybody's on. Any questions, comments for us? We're here for it. Got a heck of a evening lined up for y'all.
Yeah. How about that wind though, lately?
A little breezy.
A little breezy, that's right.
Try being on the flat bottom airboat. Yeah, I mean.
So we've been out there fishing. The wind's been super crazy. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to go out there on the water, but I know for me, it's been insane trying to fight that wind. And I know you have the airboat, so how's that been for you on the airboat?
Been a little rough, but honestly, seeing the beautiful amount of fish out there and wishing I was catching fish, but it's a very nice sight to see.
Oh yeah, definitely. Really, where's your beer? Hold on.
Free-handed.
Yeah. All right, well, cheers to your beer.
Welcome back.
Nice.
What's happening,
Well,
Gene?
hi.
Appreciate you tuning in, sir.
That's right. Hope you're feeling better.
The volume was off on purpose, but we're back now.
Oh, well, thank you,
Hopefully you
Denise.
can hear. Hopefully you can hear.
That's right. Can you guys hear us now?
Yeah, this is the pregame show. What is happening?
Hello, Tyler. Thanks for tuning in.
Anybody excited for what we have tonight? I know we haven't announced anything, but
That's right.
it's good to see y'all again.
We're living in mystery. From West Palm Beach. What's up, Dave?
That's it. Bring it on.
Thanks for tuning in. So, flat bottom airboat out in that wind.
Yeah, the beer's it's a little warm, but it's doing.
So you're going backwards.
I did see you out there, Captain Ken Claimer. It was a nice day actually. Once that sun came out, did you do any fishing? I saw you before the fact.
So, yeah, fishing. So the snook bite.
Yeah. So tonight we have a few new faces. We have got Miranda here. We also have Captain Mario here, and well, one face we're all used to seeing, old Captain Louie.
We can't hear you. Speak louder. Stand on one foot. This is for you. This isn't for me. You gotta stand on 1 foot.
1 foot. There
On
it
the
is.
rear row. There you go. Wow.
Oh well, I drank it up.
Kind of impressed on
Good to
that
see
one.
Ayinde. Pre-game show. Let everybody get signed in, get everybody settled in.
That's right.
We'll get on with the show here. Just a few.
I'm excited for what we have tonight. I'm super excited.
Very excited.
Good information, good products. We got some surprises up our sleeves. Well, not my sleeves, but maybe your sleeves.
1 or 2. What's everybody's pregame this week? What's happening, Mike?
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Well, that's what you gave us.
How's your beer?
It's getting better.
Any better? Would you like to hold it close to mine to keep it cold?
Everything helps. All righty, y'all. We'll be right back. We're going to start this show.
That's right. Thanks for coming in.
Beyond the woods, down the twists and the turns, through the marsh, lies the knowledge needed to fish the nature coast.
This is Fish Talk Live. Talk Live.
Ooh, nailed it on the first time. Presented by
The one and only
Phillips Auto Group. Phillips,
Awesome.
Dude, they took care of my mom today. So
You can't argue with that.
Seriously.
Get that Jeep back on the road.
everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Fish Talk Live
That's it. Here we are.
with the brand new sign or remake of the brand new sign.
Same thing, but different.
Brian from Extreme Decalz. Thank you to all of our sponsors for getting the season rolling, and thank you to you all for getting the season rolling.
That's it.
And thank you to
Wouldn't be doing this without you.
all these beautiful faces here tonight. We are so excited. We've got a huge lineup. I'm sure you all saw the March schedule posted. If not, I've got a feeling it's about to right there we
is.
go. All right, so tonight we're talking Snooky.
Snooky.
And we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Captain
Snook
Mario,
himself.
Mr. Snook himself. I tell you what, I've learned some of the best stuff on Snook just from one episode from Captain Mario, so I'm really
I know
excited.
what he's talking about. Pay attention.
Yeah, seriously, so I'm excited to hear what he has to say tonight. And then we've got our friend Shauna from Bahio Sunglasses, the clearest lenses on the planet Earth and whatever other planets are out there as well. Sean knows that stuff. And then we're going to be talking with Captain Louie over there on Tackle Table Talk and see what kind of rigs he's got in mind. And we're also going to be showing off some new frames from Bahio too.
I'm excited about
Well,
that.
let's talk about the quick We've got Captain Ryan Harrington, straight out of the Tampa Bay area, along with Kale from Florida Fishing Products. And then...
I like that new reel they got.
Sweet.
That's pretty sharp.
The Celos.
Yes.
Cannot wait to show it off. So make sure you check out that schedule. We'll be posting April's towards the end of March. We've got some huge names that are going to be on the show. Now, tonight, we've got some guests and some anglers.
Oh, yeah.
That won round 1 of the Florida Redfish Series in Steinhatchee. So we're excited to have them talking to Captain Mario.
Absolutely.
Now, Billy, let's talk snook.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the snook, it is sneaky, strong,
Delicious.
and delicious. Yeah. You see what's on Billy's mind.
Yeah, one of my favorite fish to eat.
But its stealth and its thinking and everything about it is just.
It takes a lot of practice to get into snook fishing.
It does.
It takes a lot of work, and once you figure it out, it is the most addicting fishing.
And someone here tonight taught us that once you found them, it's too late.
Yes.
You know,
I've heard that before.
Yeah. So I mean, you can get some of them to turn around, but you got to predict where they're going to be, and there's some good indications on where they're at without physically seeing.
Oh yeah.
But I think we should talk to Captain Mario and Louie on that.
Agreed.
But
we're gonna have that inside.
Exactly. Now, before we get into the knowledge from those guys, Billy, on the airboat. Mm-hmm. I mean, this time of the year especially, everyone is your best friend.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm definitely finding a decent amount of snook out there. They haven't, not in massive numbers, but where I'm finding them, they are stacked on top of each other, and it is a gorgeous sight to see. I do find them majority of the time at the low tides when, well, most of y'all can't get to them, but the sight of those fish is drool worthy. Get into some massive schools down in some of the pockets and some of the cracks and ledges I find on the outside of the reef. It is beautiful sight to see.
Oh, I can imagine. And March 1st, the season opened, and the weather has played out perfect.
Oh, it's beautiful weather. I mean, it's a little bit of overcast, nice and warm.
Windy.
Water's moving, it's windy. Yeah, it actually helps hide the boat and yourself from the fish.
Everything you want to go out there and target the sideliners, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Captain Mario Castell, everyone. He, some of the rigs and techniques that you taught us on the show previously, Mario, from the DOAs, working them like needlefish.
That's it, getting them skipping across the surface the way you do. And
reducing the line size.
Yep.
If you had to pick 3 tips to snook fishing, Mario, what were the 3 most important tips to successfully snook fishing?
3 tips that I got?
No, Captain Mario. This is a question. No offense. This is a question for Mario. Mario, what do you got for us?
Oh, geez, for 3 of my best.
Your mic's off.
Mic's off? Okay. 3 of my
Top.
no,
Mic's on.
Mic's on.
Or better.
All right.
now.
Can you hear
Got
me?
it? So now can you hear me?
Hold on 1 second. All right, hold on 1 second. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Louie, what's some of the tips that you got for us on snook? Your top 3 most favorite tips that you encourage your clients
That you are
to really
willing
target.
to share.
Honestly, they're probably going to be the same ones that Mario was going to say because I heard a lot the last time he was here. Like we tell everybody with all kinds of fishing, whether you're red fishing or snook fishing, you kind of don't want to be right on top of these fish. A lot of times, these fish are going to be off the bank a little further than you actually think they are. So if you're creeping up to them, like with your big motor, a lot of times you're going to scare them before you even get there. So you want to stay as far away from as possible. I'm sure Mario's going to go into his whole spiel on that. But,
It's a very important
it is.
task.
And I like to move slowly when I snook fish. Once I get to the spot, but once I see that they're there, I want to move real quickly. And then obviously get there. If I'm throwing out fish, I want to move everything really quickly. For some reason, our snook in this area, they really like it when you're twitching a bait real fast, or you're pulling a pinfish past their face real quick, or a pigfish or a mud minnow or whatnot be. That seems to be the best way to get these fish to bite, because a lot of times people have a lot of trouble catching them, which I did for a long time. until you kind of crack the code, they become a very easy fish to catch. If you can agree with me on that, Mario.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. I'm gonna give you a little tip on the approach. I'll say, if you're in our area red fishing, you see all these deeper holes and stuff that's right by the islands. They don't necessarily have to be right up on the islands, but they're very close to the islands. These holes I mark on my GPS for two reasons. For one, the snook will be setting up in them. And for two, it's a good place to launch at low water. If you have a boat that maybe takes 1.5 feet or 2 feet to jump up on plane, those holes are good to hop up, without damaging your skeg. But the approach, you got to know where these holes are at, because these snook are going to lay down in these holes at low water. And I do something called the 40-foot rule. You start way far back, 100 yards, 150 yards from where these holes are at, since you have them marked on your GPS now. You start way far back, and you go 40 feet at a time. Cast your baits, fan cast around the holes. If you don't get nothing, move another 40 feet. Cast your baits, and just keep on working until you're at that hole. Sometimes the snook are in the holes, sometimes they're not. But marking those spots is key, the deep holes. The second is that only move 30 or 40 feet at a time, because once you blow them out, then it's done. Yeah. Third one, oh gosh, there's so many tips. I'm going to say the baits we're using. The DOA 5.5 cal is a very good bait. Some people use them like a topwater bait, but if you're trying to specifically catch snook, what I like to do is I'll throw it out, I'll work it like a topwater, and I'll let it fall and let it nose down into the bottom. And as soon as it hits the bottom, since the water's so clear, as soon as it hits the bottom, you want to pop it back up to the surface again and let it fall, and they'll hit it on the fall.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, they're going to hit it on the fall.
Now, there's always been a big discussion on what type of hook to use for that nose hook rig. Mm-hmm. Whether it's the octopus circle, the straight shank circle, or just a standard J. What type of hook do you use with your DOAs when you're nose hooking them?
Me personally, I use a J hook. I don't know if you've ever watched snook hit a bait, but what they do, most fish, when they come up and they'll grab a bait, they'll turn. Snook don't do that. When they grab a hold of the bait, they swim straight at you like a missile. And if you have a circle hook, you can't get the hook set in their jaw because they're coming at you. And then by the time you're able to actually get the hook set, they'll spit the bait out. So I like to use a J hook. Okay. Yeah, and it's got to be a pretty strong J hook too, like a XX or a 3X J hook. And
Elvis, what do you think? Okay. Got it. All right.
Elvis is busy eating little scraps off the floor.
What size fluoro are you? I mean, do you switch it up, or do you have a base, 15, 20 pound that you go with?
If I'm specifically snook fishing, I try not to use anything less than 30. Okay. Sometimes the water's really, really clear. No grass on the surface. Every now and again we get lucky enough where there's no surface grass, but a 30-pound leader is good. 25 if you're using super light line. A lot of my rigs are rigged up with 8-pound test. I can get away with 25, but the problem is you lose a lot of them to the trees because they'll swim right back into the bushes. But 30, 40 is pretty normal. Sometimes I'll run a 30-inch or a 36-inch piece of 30 with a 6 or 8-inch piece of 40 just for the abrasion resistance at the very end.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, because the water's so clean. Yeah. But
and with their gill plates, I've always grown up letting the snook lead the fight. Mm-hmm. Try not to pull against that gill plate. If he's making a beeline for the mangrove roots, there's nothing else you can do except trying to turn them.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
Typically where the break off happens. And, those, I don't know if you all have ever felt a snook's gill plates, but the next time, don't run it up and down, run it across right behind their gill, and you'll see how razor sharp those are. the further you can get that leader away from it, the better, right?
Yeah, a lot of times what you want to do is when you're fighting a snook and he's going into the trees, it's a split-second decision in your mind. When you see him run into the trees, if he's moving slightly left, you want to pull that rod way far left to try to keep it away from the gill plate. If he's moving right, you want to pull the rod way far right, just to keep it away from the gill plates.
So I mean, I'm sure all of you can say that you've let a snook that you thought you were fighting perfectly cut you off, and that's probably because you're trying to fight it like a redfish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of times when you're fighting redfish, it's like a tug of war, but you have to fight snook like you've got it connected with a set of butterfly wings, because it's very delicate, because they have all the sharp stuff on their gills, and they have that really rough mouth. Yeah, he agrees. Don't you, Elvis? He agrees.
He's excited.
All right, so I think those are some great tips to get you guys started, on snook fishing especially. One of the best tips I can give you is hire someone like Mario or Louis to get you out there and see it firsthand. Leave the phones, leave the GPSs behind.
Yeah, please.
Otherwise, they'll leave you behind. So, but I highly encourage you all booking a trip with these guys. They are world class. So. But let's go to a commercial break, and when we come back, let's start talking some redfish from the Florida Redfish Series.
Awesome.
It's a quick commercial break.
Getting out on the water has never been easier. At Phillips Buick GMC, our lineup of trucks and SUVs are here to toe the line. From the Sierra's powerful V8 engine and multi-pro tailgate to the most desirable SUVs on the market, they're well equipped to get your toys safely to your destination. At Phillips Buick GMC, we have the area's best selection of the right cars at the right price, right on the money.
Alrighty, guys, so we're back. Captain Mario, This is your couch. This is the Ayinde Matthews State Farm couch. So, Captain Mario, we've got Forrest Wheeler. He was the winner of the Florida Redfish Series Round 1 in Steinhatchee. How do you do Steinhatchee or
Steinhatchee?
Steinhatchee.
Yeah.
Well, we'll argue on that one later.
Yeah.
So
Tomato, same fruit, different vegetable.
But why don't we see if we can get inside of Forrest's
there you go,
mind?
yeah.
Because I got beat pretty hard on that one, so I'd like to see what we did wrong. Forrest, you out there? All right, Forrest, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Us. Dead stare. Oh, there he goes.
Okay, so Forrest has a slight delay. There he is. Forrest, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay.
We can't hear Forrest.
Can't hear him, but I believe he can hear us.
All right, so Forrest, I tell you what, so why don't you give us a rundown on that experience, on the start to finish? Was it a heavy bite in the beginning? Were you guys confident? Did you lose confidence and then gained it? How did that day go? I think we were out there 9 hours. How did that 9 hours go for you guys?
It actually started out kind of slow for us. We had fished the tournament a few weekends before and kind of fished in the same pattern. And, got in the area first thing. Winds were different directions, so it was a little different. I didn't get free fish any because of work and all that, but knew a general area where the fish were going to be. And so first thing, it was low light, couldn't see anything. And, we were just making blind casts, just trying to see if we could run across some fish. And it took, a couple hours before we got some sunlight before we actually see. And once we got some light,
No, we
started
can't
to see a couple fish.
I'm sorry that we can't hear you I can't hear you through this thing. So I'm not sure. Okay, we're just gonna let you keep going. Okay, go ahead and I'm sorry I interrupted you there, but go ahead and keep going, if you would, please.
But once we got some light, I moved a little bit in that area, and I actually got up a little shallower, and started to see some fish, and that's when we actually started catching. So can everybody hear me? Do you know?
Yep. So Forrest, we can hear you. I'm back here in the DJ stand where Sean sits. So now Mario and I, hold on a second, there we go. So Mario and I missed the first part of that. But real quick, did it start off hot and heavy, or was it kind of slow for you guys? Just so I can caught up on that.
No, it started off a little slow. Like I said, we fished tournament a few weeks before, and we were catching them first thing in the morning. But with the low light, couldn't see any fish first thing, and once we started to get some light in, we moved a little bit, got a little shallower, and started seeing some fish, and that's when we started getting some bites.
Good deal. Yeah, I know that day was real. It was tough, those negative tides. I remember very clearly. Billy and I actually got stuck in one spot for a very long time. So, I know it was tough, and especially with artificial and, that area, what I've learned from it, you got to move. So, overall, how many miles do you guys think that you covered, to find the fish that you needed?
Really, we stayed pretty close to Team Hatchley, and I worked one area all day. And we had our 2 fish by lunchtime. And once that tide turned and started coming in, the bite kind of shut down for us. So by noon, we started at first thing in the morning. I think by 9 o'clock, we started catching our first fish, and we probably caught, 15 fish that day. And we just steadily upgraded the whole time. And we caught that last fish right before the tide was turning, and we didn't catch another fish after that.
So, all right, and now your bait of choice on that day, was it artificial? Was it soft baits? Tell us a little bit about that. How did you switch up a lot, or were you pretty confident on what you were using and just kept using it?
First thing that morning with the low light, not being able to sight fish anything, I was wanting to throw something with a little noise, so I had a suspended bait, jerk bait that I was throwing first thing, and make a little noise and see if, get a reaction. And Christy, my fiance, she was throwing a paddle tail. We're just moving quick, and we were trying to find some fish. And once we got some light and we started seeing the fish, and we actually, both the fish we weighed in, we sight casted and put on the boat, and they were actually caught off this guy right here. If you can see it. But it's just simple bait, paddle, Z-Man, diesel minnow.
Okay.
Rigged on a
You ever heard of that, Mario?
Oh yeah.
Here, I tell you what, I'm going to let Mario take over on this because I know he's got a bunch of questions for you. So I'm going to hand it over to Mario.
Okay, I might be able to hear you now. The competitors that you went up against, these are the guys you fish against all the time in these tournaments. How do you strategize against some of their ways and the different things you do? How do you get ready for the tournament?
So, a lot of people ask, tournament fishing and all that, and I've been tournament fishing now for, I think this will be year number 5. And it takes a little bit. You can go out there on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you go out there and you can wear them out. But it comes to a tournament when you have, 60, 70 boats fishing it. It's a different animal. When you have guys that are fruit fishing out there all week and putting pressure on these fish, you got to come up with a plan, and you got to stick to your plan. You could go to an area and you have a lot of pressure. You could have 10 boats in one area, but you just got to stick it out, and you got to push through it, and you just got to fish hard and not run all over the place. The biggest thing for me is sticking to one area, and because the more time you're running around, the less time you're getting to fish. So.
How much time did you spend pre-fishing this tournament in Steenhatchee?
Well, we've actually been 5-10s all year. I'm a lineman for Duke Energy, so I worked up till Friday, and just fishing yearly patterns. I had an idea of where the fish should be this time of year, and we went out there and where I thought they would be, and like I said, we didn't find them first thing in the morning, but they were. It took us a little bit. We moved around a little bit, but we found them, and we put some fish in the boat.
All right, so now we officially have you in our ears. Sounds a lot better. A lot easier.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
So can you?
Yeah, I don't want to make sure I'm not talking to nobody out here. I'm just talking to
So everyone that's watching right now, they all can hear you. We're a bunch of rednecks that like fishing, drinking Busch Light, technology stuff we learned off YouTube.
Aquafina.
Yeah. There it is. Well, cool, man. Now, last question. Who is your teammate?
That's see. So we got he's going to be 1 year old in 1 week, 7 days. He'll be a year old and our first baby. But she just went out of the bathroom to give him a bath because he's on his strict schedule of, eating, getting his bath, and a little booby, and going to bed. So he just went to the bathtub. My tournament partner is Craig Spitznagel. That's who, we travel all over the Southeast fishing redfish tournaments.
Craig.
He actually he wasn't able to fish this one, and whenever he can't fish, Chrissy, she's the backup, and obviously she's a strong backup.
Yeah.
She's not. I don't call her second string. She's my other first string.
I like it, Mario.
But she fishes. My fiance, she's
I'm sure she caught all the fish that day.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it happens all the time, especially with
Hey, it's actually so we caught, like I said, like 12, 15 fish, and for that morning, once we could actually get some sunlight and could see there was a fish cruising in front of the boat, and I pitched to it and hooked him, and it was a 30-incher. Like, as soon as I hooked into him, I told him, "Oh, this one's a little big." And then we caught a few fish. We had probably 10, 11 pounds in the boat, and then we came up to the spot, and I seen a pothole, pitched to it, and as soon as I hit the hole, I could see a fish turn on it and ate, and that was one of the fish we caught. And then it wasn't 10 minutes later, I was on my pulling platform in the front, she was on the casting platform in the back, and I looked to the back, and I seen a fish cruising right at her, and I said, "Babe, there's a fish right there." She pitched right at it, hit it right in the nose, and it ate, and she hooked into it. I netted the fish, and as soon as I put in the boat, I was like, "This one's over." Put it on the board, and it was 27 3/4 or 26 3/4. So,
Nice.
I got one, and she got one, so it worked out perfect.
I know these tournaments are really tough on schedules and stuff like that, and you probably couldn't do it without any of your sponsors. Give us a little shout out to your sponsors, would you?
Power Pole, of course. KC and the whole crew down there. Anytime you have any issues, they're going to help you out with whatever you need. They're going to make it right. Kale with Florida Fishing Products, y'all are going to have him next week. Kale's a good dude. You can call him anytime, and he's a good dude to just have a conversation with. Trevor with Fitzgerald Rods. I use his rods, love his rods. Who else we got? Jim down at Captain's Cove. He'll do anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, Let It Ride Marine, he keeps mine and Craig's boat on the water. He's been doing a lot of work on that Mercury for Craig, so he really thanks Dan.
Good deal.
And of course, Aqua Dream Spoon.
I like the Aqua Dreams. They're pretty sweet spoons.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we use them all the time up here. It's actually a really good snook bait. We were talking about snook earlier, but that Aqua Dream, they have for some reason the reflection off of the Aqua Dreams are so much more superior than most of these other spoons that we've seen on the market. But,
absolutely.
Yep.
Cool. Well, Forrest, thank you very much. Are we going to see you in Jacksonville?
Well, I was gonna fish it, but they had some scheduling issues and had to rearrange the schedule a little bit. And like I said, our little boy's first birthday party is next Saturday, so we're not going to be able to make Jacksonville. But we were planning on fishing it, until they rescheduled it for this next weekend.
Good deal.
But we'll be in the river for sure.
mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, we're looking forward to having you here, man.
Yeah, and we congratulate you on the win.
Big time.
It's awesome.
Cool.
And do you have anything else for him?
I think that's it. I think we get into the kayak division now.
All right, good deal. We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. See you in Chris River.
Hey, thank you. We'll see you, man. Congratulations on that baby, too.
Thank you.
Okay, it looks like we have Joe Forsythe. Am I correct?
What's up, fellas? Yes, sir. Forsythe, you got it.
Yeah, good deal, good deal. And you won the what was it, the kayak division in the Florida Redfish Series in Steenahatchee?
Yes, sir.
All right, good deal. Well, we're going to ask some of the same questions that we asked Forrest, but how does your strategy start with this tournament? What just go through what you started with, and how you ended the day.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I fished the event back in October, and it was on fire. I caught over 50 fish during the first tournament there in October, it was just insane. So I just made a hard decision to go fish the same spot. Of course, you know, if you recall, this tournament was January 28th. Temps were real cold. Tides were different. Tide fell out quicker than I thought it would. So my game plan was to push deep into this feeder creek. I get to this feeder creek and I have no water, or little to no water. Fortunately, I had my carbon marine push pole, so I was able to actually push through the mud, because everybody knows, I'm sure a few of you guys jumped out and had to push your boats a time or two. I know I don't want to jump in 3 foot of mud. You're not getting far, but I fought through it, and literally the 2 fish that logged me the win, I caught back to back right at 9 in the morning. And the majority of that time was pushing through the mud just to get into this spot in this feeder creek. But once I got back there, I started looking around. You know, there's practically zero water clarity there. So I'm just looking for wakes, right? I started to see a few wakes, made a few blind casts towards the wakes. Sure enough, hook up. First fish was 26 1/4. 5 minutes later, next fish, 24 1/2. I decided not to stay back there. I knew there was a few more fish. I just didn't want to be locked back there and spending, 2 hours trying to get out of the mud. So I pushed out while I still had a little water left, went back out towards the main flat. Wasn't able to upgrade. I would have loved to. Caught some overslot reds, which was nice to catch. But so yeah, really my day was won by deciding to kind of push through that area, get skinny, and just kind of got right place, right time.
Yeah, what people don't really realize, since you're in a kayak, the decision to go to wherever you're going to go is pretty much locked in, because you can't do the running around that these guys in the boats can do. And a lot of people don't realize that at first, and you think about it, and your strategy, you have to think a little bit more deeply in your strategy, because you're going to decide where you're going to go. You're locked in, whether it's going to be good or bad or indifferent, but you're kind of stuck with what you got. And I know that's a little bit tough when you're in a kayak.
That's a good point. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, these kayaks we're in today, it's not like, you can just pick them up and throw them over your shoulder. We're running kayaks that loaded with gear. They can be up to almost 200 pounds. So, yeah, you definitely don't want to be landlocked somewhere.
Yeah, that would really suck. It sucks in a boat and it sucks in a kayak too. Sure. Yeah, I don't like being landlocked. But now, when you were made your decision, what really drove that decision? What were you thinking when you actually made that decision? Did you pre-fish the tournament? I'm sure you maybe fish earlier in that week. How many days did you pre-fish this thing?
Yeah, so got in Wednesday, drove in with my RV, stayed at Piddler's Point RV there in Steenhatchee, great place. But if y'all were there, I mean, it was just epic winds. I mean, if you were out on the water, you're crazy. It would have been like Forrest Gump too, I didn't go out. So went out Thursday. It was a tough bite. I mean, tournament day, I think I caught only maybe a total of maybe 7 fish. So definitely fighting to find them, but stuck with the plan. I knew that there was some real good hole back there in that feeder creek. It held the fish during the tournament when I fished there in October. And October, it was kind of odd. I would like to think you're not really getting super cold weather, but if you recall back then, I mean, we had cold temps. So, my game plan, I'm thinking skinny. I want to get up feeder creeks, I don't want to be abused by the winds and out there on the flats. So I just went back there, made the decision, and it paid off.
Good deal. Good. You have any more questions for him? I got a couple, but you go ahead.
We got a question from Jamie Gage up here. In a kayak, you plan on 3 to 4 spots max in a tournament. You know, that's a question, Joe. Is that something that you kind of target, 3 to 4 spots, or you know, or wherever you found fish? I mean, do you have a goal on amount of spots that you're looking at?
Yeah, sometimes those factors change. So obviously I did pre-fish. We did pre-fish multiple areas. So you have to kind of think strategically, because time that you're pulling your kayak off the water, having to load it and go to another spot, you kind of have to really think hard and long about that. You know, fortunately, pre-fishing was able to identify the right fish in the spot that I fished for the tournament. So really didn't have to kind of get off the water, load the kayak, and go to another spot. Now, that being said, yeah, we'll push. Fish might be pulled in different areas. There might be different areas. So, yeah, definitely prepared to put the miles in. You know, riding on a Hobie, at least have the advantage of the pedal system. So it's a lot less stress than paddling. So, I mean, we're running about the same speed as a trolling motor. So, you know, you can definitely move and get around to multiple spots if need be, but you're at the rate of about a trolling motor.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what kind of baits were you using at this tournament? I know you throw a lot of probably a lot of soft plastic baits. I'd like to throw soft plastic baits, but tell us what kind of baits you were using when you won this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was pushed back in that feeder creek, I was throwing flukes. I mean, October, that's all I threw. I mean, they were just fired up, just super lightweight jig head. You know, just working it real smooth, just to give it that nice kind of up and side action. And I had 0 issues. Now, granted, when I pushed out and was working the oyster bars, you know, that wasn't going to work. So I was throwing, you know, a weedless setup with a paddle tail. I was throwing Slayer paddle tails. So those worked well once you were casting up around those oyster bars. Yeah, that was it. Just those 2 combos.
Good deal. Well, I know how long was the tournament? You said it was about 9 hours from start to finish, I believe it is. How much over water, how long did you travel, like miles wise, in a kayak?
Oh, wow. You know, I usually hook up my Lowrance when I'm in an area, but I decided to keep it simplistic, so I don't know the exact miles. But if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably 10, 12 miles.
My goodness. Yeah. That's quite a bit, and that's a lot in a kayak. But yeah, you have to be in good physical condition to do that.
So Mario, we just got the signal that we gotta move on. Guys, y'all check out those sponsors. You know, Joe's. Obviously, they help you. You know, just like they help the anglers that do these tournaments. So I'm sure you want to give them a shout out. They're listed up there. Take a screenshot. Hobie, one of the best kayaks out there. Joe, thanks again, man. You were awesome. I hope we see you in Jacksonville.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
Cool. All right, brother. You take it easy, and we'll see you soon.
Congratulations.
So we're going to go over to
Thanks,
Captain
guys.
Miranda. That was Captain Mario on the Ayinde Matthews State Farm Casting Couch. Now we're going to do the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week with Captain Miranda.
Hey guys, are you excited? These are the catches of the week. So we have a really good looking snook by August. Awesome job, Captain August. And then we have a really good, sorry, I'm getting lost in the screen. We have a really good looking redfish here from Cheryl Claimer. Awesome job, Cheryl. And then, that's a big bass.
Oh, she's got the screen.
So this is an 8-pound by Chris. Awesome job, Chris. That must have been one heck of a fight for you. Kind of jealous. Good job. So this is Chris's son, Gavin, with a huge 7-pound, 12-ounce bass. Awesome job, guys. Look at the size of that mouth. It's huge. And then we have a awesome snook here. And this is by Gene. Awesome catch, Gene. Wow, that thing's good looking. So now this is also Gene's. This is one of Gene's clients with an awesome redfish here. Awesome catch. Man,
Fat.
that's a good looking, that's a fat redfish you got there, bud. And then this is James Hansen bringing in a huge snook. Look at the size of that tail. Woo!
Jessica, this is James' wife.
All right, so this is James's wife, Jessica. Awesome catch, Jessica. That's a really good looking redfish. That's a really good fish. So this is Kelly. Awesome catch, Kelly, with that red. Sorry. And then this is gonna be Louie.
Louis' client.
So this is Louie's client with a awesome black drum.
Thanks.
This is my guy.
And then this is
Eric Litchin.
Eric with an awesome redfish. Awesome job. Eric, with that, look at the size of that tail on that thing. They must have fought like a freight train. Holy moly.
All right, and then we're going to go back.
Going to a commercial.
All right, so I guess we're going to a commercial break, so stay tuned.
Hey Gary, what you doing?
Oh, just going through the book, looking at some dash panels.
As nice as that sounds, what if we went and did something a little more custom? Do you know anybody that might be able to make a switch panel like this?
Let's go talk to Brian.
I think Brian would be a good idea for that.
Cool, let's go.
It'd be sweet.
Oh, Brian. Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
Got a cardboard cutout. Can you make it into something for me?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right. What?
This is our dash panel complete. Just wanted to throw a huge shout out to Brian up there at Extreme Decalz. Nailed it. This is exactly what I had envisioned when I drew literally a cardboard cutout for this to become a true dash piece and showpiece at the same time. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm super stoked to see this thing on the water.
At some point hey guys, Captain Louie here. Thanks, Sean. Tackle Table Talk presented by Nature Coast Financial Advisors. We are super happy to have Miss Shauna here with us today from Bahio. I think, have we introduced her yet through the show? No? Miss Fist City. If anybody knows what that is, please comment. But she's here to talk about Bahio. She's also here to talk about the new Ozello frames. I think we talked about them last week. Something really cool that's come through the stores that they've put in everywhere in Florida, everywhere around the U.S. and all over the place. So
here, though.
Exactly. Most importantly, right here in Ozello. So let's talk a little bit about Bahio's origin. How did it start? When did it start? Stuff like that.
Cool. Yeah, April 1st is actually going to be our 2-year anniversary. So believe it or not, it's crazy to think we're in about 1,000+ retailers, but we're just 2 years old. So we have about 100+ years optical experience. The majority of us came from another competing eyewear company in the industry, which I think most of you guys know. So we have a lot of optical experience. But when that particular company went corporate, we decided it was time to kind of start our own thing. So we're independent,
yes,
employee owned, which is super awesome. So it gives us a lot of stake in the company and freedom to kind of do our own thing. So we have a lot of creative freedom. We have designs by tattoo artists and we use younger models, younger demographics. So we have the best lens technology in the market that we pride ourselves on. So block out 95% of the harmful blue light, which majority of folks know comes from our phone, but the biggest contributor is the sun. 95% of the harsh yellow light, so super clear, crispy, all 100% polarized lenses, 13 different lens options, 24 different frames. So we just launched about 4 new frame styles for 2023.
Yes.
One of them is
I've seen them in here.
So yeah, for the 4 new frame styles, our naming technology came from naming our frames after flats in Florida. So we're all about ocean conservation, saving the shallows. Bajío is Spanish for shallows, so we have conservation in mind at the forefront. So
for sure,
I hit up Sean and Gary and probably 6 to 8 months ago.
It's funny when you did that. We got the email and we were all sitting around. We're like, they want to know a place in Ozello, and we're like, I don't know, like a place in Ozello. And then finally we were like, what about Ozello?
Yeah.
And it worked out perfectly.
We're just going to name it after you guys.
Yeah.
Ozello Keys have been great partners of ours since day one.
Yes.
Between Jay coming out here and doing the Fishing with Jay episode with Grouper Gary's, landing the grouper over here on this side. So made some great relationships, and we definitely wanted to show you guys some love and incorporate you into our brand and have you part of the family.
Yep. Yeah, we loved having Jay here. I mean, he was here for a week or so, and being able to be on the water with him, and he obviously is a big face of the brand. So it was just cool to hang out with him, and when we see him at ICAST and stuff like that. But
we call him our shaman, our spirit animal.
Yeah,
he lives in all of us.
We have one of those too. He's standing behind the computer over there.
Sean the shaman. Well, Sean and Jay were like besties, right? He was
for
the
sure.
one who recognized Fifth City at first. So. There you go. Yeah.
Is this what you wanted?
That's it. Money shot.
Hold on. You gotta
There you go. These are the Ozellos. This is a pink.
It's one of our new frame styles, Ozello, the one we named after all these gents over here. It's part of our wide body collection. So you're going to see these wide temples that are meant for like blocking the sunlight from the side. It's an 8-base curve on the front, so it's oh shit, I'm messing it up. Pardon my French. So it's going to have that full wrap on the front. It's going to be meant for performance. It has, if you can kind of see on the inside, it has these vented nose pads, so it has that breathability, so you're not going to fog up. It's meant for all-day performance, super lightweight. The frames are made out of a castor seed bioresin, so it's made from plants. Lenses, we have, I think this one is the rose mirror, which is great for like sight fishing, flats, inshore, has that red base. So 13 different lens options between polycarbonate and glass, so ton of amazing features. Flex hinges, so this was my bad. I should have named one of our XL frames after you guys versus a small one. So that
I noticed that in here. I was like, it says small, but
this is a small frame.
Yeah.
But next time
it kind of gets out on me, but I kind of like them because if I move too fast, which I don't do very often, they kind of come off my face. These Bales Beaches do. But thank you very much on telling us all about Bajío. I'm pretty sure you guys might have wanted to listen real hard. Because we're going to have a question coming up here soon. I'm not going to ask the question. I'm sure Gary's going to get into that at some point in time. But thank you, Shauna, very much for being here.
Yeah,
and I can't hear anything you're saying. And if you want to win a single pair of these Ozellos, I think we're doing these pink frames, or the pink lenses. We need you to share this video. And then you're going to need to answer the question correctly, do the whole thing, the commenting. Everything's the same as the last show. So just be ready for that here. It's coming up next. I think, are we going to commercial break? With Bajío.
Hey. Ooh. Can't get rid of me yet.
Looks like we're not going. We can't hear you. Can you hear him?
Nope, I can't.
Well, trust us. Once you win these,
I'm trying to
frames,
read
you're
his
gonna be super
lips, but I
excited.
can't, like, my little eyes don't work that well.
I think it's the lenses that I really want. I've had blue lenses for so long, and they work really well for offshore, but we're all switching to inshore this time of year. So it seems like, this pink, something it's a little bit brighter. It seems to do really well.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
You need multiple lens options. You need multiple frame options depending on like what you're doing. We always say from boat to bar. We try and design frame styles that can kind of function both on the water and off the water.
For sure.
Depending on if you're in that full light, you're going to want that blue mirror, which is going to have that darker gray base. But if you're inshore, you want that rose mirror, silver mirror, something that's going to have that copper or red base to kind of help cut the glare and
Exactly.
see the fish.
I remember when I put these on at ICAST, I was standing next to Randy. He said, "You put these new pink lenses on." I was like, "Oh, this looks like HD." It's wild. It is really just it's crazy compared to other brands what the pink lens has done. Compared to all the other ones, it stands out amongst the blues and the greens for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely one of our top sellers, and glass is going to be that crispy clear, scratch resistant. You want to go with something a little bit higher quality. If you want something a little more lightweight, you're going to go with that plastic lens.
And they're super durable. I may or may not have dropped mine several hundred times. They're still intact.
Exactly.
And I can see out of them, which is great. So that's definitely something that I've noticed on them compared to the other ones where I've gotten in my car and forget they're in my seat.
Oh yeah.
And they all have that lifetime manufacturer's warranty too. So you can send them in. If you sit on your lenses, break them, run over them with the tire, we'll replace them for you for $85 flat fee.
Exactly.
So super simple. Try and keep it as easy as possible. If you call us, a human will answer the phone. So that's super exciting.
Yeah.
We try and pride ourselves to do that within 3 rings. So we have a great customer service team. I think you guys work with Annette a lot. And then we have Eric Turner, who handles it from the consumer side. So I think there was a question that may have come in about our warranty.
You just said this is the best warranty ever.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. We learned a lot at the other companies, so we definitely try and step up our game when it comes to our customer service.
Well, thank you so much. We're going to go to a Bahio commercial. Thank you, guys.
Vagabond dreaming takes me through the night. Sipping whiskey by the river, living out of sight. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour toward the light. Anymore when the sun does come. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour in the fast lane. 100 miles an hour till I'm done.
Stiff rod.
Alrighty, guys. So that was the Tackle Table Talk presented by Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Absolutely.
And Miss Shauna from Bahio. Now, not just Shauna, all of their team.
Huge team.
World class.
Yeah.
I mean, I've enjoyed working with everybody so far. That's such a cool company, down to earth.
Easy to work.
Friendly.
Yeah, friendly.
Super friendly.
I remember going to take a tour up there, Miranda, and it was like, I don't know if you ever watched the show, The Internship, where it's like the Google headquarters, and they have all the mind games and the
upstairs where everybody hung out and actually threw their ideas together. I could spend an afternoon up there with them.
That's awesome.
Cool place.
I gotta go check it out.
Let's go. There's a reason why Bahio has taken over the market, and there's a reason why they're number one. That's the reason why. So check out the lenses. But there's also another reason, because they're super cool and they give away awesome stuff.
Gotta love it.
So why don't we go over to them and let them give away some glasses.
Yeah.
It's the Bahio Wheel of Death.
Actually, it's the Hydra Deck Extreme Decalz Project Shop Reel of Fortune, Shauna.
Sorry.
You sound like Vanna White. So to win, you guys need to share, comment the answer, and I don't know, stand on one foot or drink your beer with one hand. So the question is, You want to say it? You want me to say it?
You say it.
I'll say it. What year did Bajío start? Is that good?
What year were they founded?
Founded. Started.
What year?
Founded. What year?
Founded.
Founded. When did Bajíos drop? And while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about a cool snook setup that I have that Gary doesn't want me to talk about. Something I've done a whole lot this year. I like to have a rod on the boat that's kind of weird, kind of wonky. It's a pretty much a oversized bass setup, because that's pretty much what a snook is. They seem to strike like a bass, fight like a bass. They jump, they do all kinds of crazy stuff. But I've really got into using these NLBNs with a worm hook. Any kind of swim bait is going to work. But ripping this thing across the top when they're already fired up eating has seemed to be the coolest way to catch these fish. They jump out of the water. If they're facing the other way, they're going to go upside down to eat it. But reeling it across the top as fast as you can, it kind of bubbles below the surface. It might kind of wobble back and forth, but this setup, super fun. You can do it on a spinning rod. It's not as cool, but it is definitely funny to watch your clients when you put this in their hands with a snook, jumping all over the place. They have no idea what's going on, but a very cool way to fish these fish. But like we always say with snook, move it as fast as you can. That's what's going to get the bite every time. I'm so glad I got to talk about my.
Sweating and waiting.
I know. I had it back there, and Bree said, "No, you can't talk about it right now." And then she said, "You can talk about it." So I'm very happy I got to actually push that out to all of y'all.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Are we
It looks
ready?
like
For the wheel?
we might have.
Oh,
You called it something
I'm
else.
sorry, the Hydro Deck, a portable boat flooring system wheel of spinnings.
Yeah. That a boy, Dad.
Daddy?
Oh yeah.
All right, no cheating.
Oh yeah. We can't tell anybody. All right. So
Ready?
whenever you're ready,
I've always wanted to do this on Price of Right and kiss Bob Barker. Louie?
I can be Bob. I don't actually no I can't. Sorry, babe. What are we at?
All right, groups.
Dang it.
Not Dad?
Can I say who it is? Okay, it's Joe. Well, earlier you said don't say anything. It's Joe F.
Fowler?
Bruce?
Frankie?
Joe Frankenstein. Is that true?
Joe Firth.
Joe Firth. Oh, down the road, Joe.
Oh, down the road, Joe.
Perfect.
Woo, woo.
He's probably drinking a beer right now.
Cheers,
Perfect.
Joe.
Joe's an Ozello native. So I think something crazy is about to happen, right?
Are we about to do something nuts? Is someone feeling generous?
I need
Wait, there's more.
I need to hear from. Yes?
All right, we're gonna give away another one.
A whole nother pair
Yes.
of Ozellos
Let's do it.
from Ozello
Someone's feeling generous.
and Bajío. Go ahead, spin that thing one more time. Come on, Dad.
Same winner can't win twice.
You gotta wait till Father's Day, okay?
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, little perms?
Jerry! Is that my uncle?
Is that not Dad?
Sorry.
Jerry Rose.
Jerry who?
Rose.
Jerry Rose.
Rose!
Congratulations.
That's right. Come on down.
You win 2 pairs. Just kidding. You win the second pair. Should we, one more? You ready?
No. I only brought 2.
That's right.
Up to you guys.
Yeah. All right, guys. Are we gonna close out? Are we gonna go over there to close? We're gonna, if Gary runs real quickly.
All right. Well, hope you guys enjoy your Bajío shades. You're gonna love them.
Thank you so much for being here, Miss Shauna.
Appreciate it.
I just want to let everyone know that was the first episode that everyone said Bajío the correct way.
Nice.
The very first episode.
Banjos.
Potatoes.
Bajíos.
Guys, thank you so much for watching the first ever Fish Talk Live. We appreciate everyone being here. That was an awesome episode.
Oh yeah.
What do you think, Miranda?
I thought it was awesome. I mean, what more could you ask? We're all hanging out.
Drinking beers, hanging out, talking
with friends,
fish.
talking fish. So, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with any of it.
Well, thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to everyone being here. Thank you to Sean and Brianna. And we can't do this without everyone, so we really appreciate it. And we will see you next Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I feel like we're getting pretty good at saying Tuesday and Fish Talk Live.
Just kind of rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, but we're excited. We're gonna go do some fishing with Shauna tomorrow. So we're excited about. And yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for watching Fish Talk Live, presented by
Phillips Auto Group.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you later.
I don't know where it came from.
Tune in this Friday.
Tune in this Friday.
Because what?
I quit this place.